What is up, our friends of film fandom, wherever you may be, and however you may be watching and or listening? We appreciate you all being here and giving us just a little bit of your time. You already know what day it is, what time it is, and what's going on. If you don't by now, I think we're on what, round 4? No, 5. 5. See, I don't even know which one it is. Round 5 of these booster shots of this damn T virus. We're still working our way through it. Yeah, like I said, we are the harsh truth, and of course, as always, I am obviously not Frank. Yeah, but like I said, he lets me drive when, especially when it's video game stuff. And of course, speaking of video game stuff, always having my, I almost said Ready Player 2. We're not there yet. We're almost to that movie, damn it. We got a book, we got to get a movie. But, I'm sorry, my Player 2, 10 Septim is here, and how are you this evening?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Had some Chinese food, and I'm doing good. Japanese food. I guess it was Japanese food, yeah. And it was good, and I'm doing good. Ready to get into this movie, which was interesting. I'll say that now.
I think interesting is a good way to put it. I think you and I were a little bit more on the same page with this one, for sure. I would also like to mention, I don't know why, or if this was planned in a certain way, but Frank gave us this background with Jill, and I don't know why for the entire stream now Jill is going to be pointing a gun at my head, but we're here now. This is where we're at. We're 5 movies deep, and this is what I get to deal with the entire time. Oh Lord. Okay, look at that. And not first this time, not Casey, which is good. But of course, like as always, my mother's in the chat, so behave yourselves. And oh, good Lord, I have so many pictures. There were a lot of things in this movie, and I will say that. It's not without its creativity, because once again, I feel like every single one of these movies, they were surprised they were making another one, so they're like, we have to do a thing. Let's do stuff, and it'll who cares? It's weird genetic experimentation, and umbrellas everywhere, and they do all these weird things because that's what they do. Their business is life itself, as they say. Oh, nice. We're Jill. Yeah, I think she is actually shooting with her left hand in that one. Yeah, for sure. I know she's got 2 guns. I think she shoots with both, but yeah, she's definitely shooting with her left hand on that one. They never really explain it, but we see the little thing on her chest. She's got the Umbrella Corporation. She's kind of under their spell, unfortunately. So she's ambidextrous. Where are the top of the notes? I wish this mouse would work. Dear God. Mice and plagues, right? They go hand in hand. Okay, there we go. Yeah, anyway, so we're after I try to get this set up as if I've never done this before, we're talking about Resident Evil Retribution. And if I start the notes, there we go. Resident Evil Retribution is a 2012 action horror film written and directed by none other than Paul W.S. Anderson. We are back again. A sequel to Resident Evil Afterlife from 2010 is the 5th installment of the Resident Evil film series, loosely based on the video game franchise of the same name. It is also the 3rd to be written and directed by Anderson. In the first film, and after the first film in Afterlife. Wow, I can't read. The film focuses on Alice, of course, played by Milla Jovovich, captured by the Umbrella Corporation, again, forcing her to make an escape from an underwater facility in the extreme north. I think we just call that Russia, but okay. It's literally says extreme north. Used as a testing site for the T virus. The film was released in 2D, 3D, and IMAX 3D to box office success. Hey, there's a good word, finally, for this series. Grossing over 240 million worldwide, but received generally negative reviews from critics. There we go. Who criticized the character's plot, acting, the chef, probably on site, the medic, the fucking everybody, because they just don't like fun. I added that part. Sorry. While they did, in fact, praise the 3D visual effects and fight choreography. Wow. They do have a heart after all. And it maybe grew one size that day. During its opening weekend, the film grossed 20. Don't make me read a whole number, Frank. God damn it. 21 million domestically, an average of just under 7,000 for each theater, which makes the film the second lowest domestic opening weekend in the series, with the lowest being the original Resident Evil with only 17 million. Though it sold the fewest tickets. That feels like it should have been a separate sentence. Wow. Despite this, the film made just over 240 million against a budget of only 65 million. So yeah, numbers are going up. Upward trajectory. Rotten Tomatoes, the Rotten Tomatoes gives the film a score a 28% based on reviews from 74 critics with an average rating of 4.3 out of 10. Good lord. The site's critical consensus reads, Resident Evil Retribution offers everything one might reasonably expect from the fifth installment of a heavily action-dependent franchise, which means very little beyond the stylishly hollow CGI-enhanced set pieces. Well, at least they didn't make any stupid puns this time. So, God, after all that word salad I just fucking said there, because half of it I added and half of it I couldn't even put the words in the right order. Thank you, Frank. There's some insight. Apparently, Jill has a vendetta against me. I don't know what I did. That's all I gotta say. But tales old as time. We've heard this the previous 4 times, and now the 5th time. I mean, I don't really think there's anything new to say about what the critics think, but what do you think about this movie? What are your quick thoughts on Retribution? And go.
I wasn't a huge fan of this one. I felt just as confused, if not more confused, by this one than I did by the first one. There was a lot going on in this film. A lot happens in this film, and it all kind of felt scrambled to me. And I felt like there was a lot of quick explanation of, oh, this is happening now. Here you go. And now there's action scenes. This is your quick explanation of why this is happening. And now action. With no real meat to it as to why things were happening when they were happening. I don't know. I felt very I felt like the rug was pulled out from under me watching this film. After watching the previous ones, because I feel like we were on a set course of where we were headed, and then all of a sudden the rug was pulled out from under me of what we were doing, and I felt very confused. Those are my quick thoughts before we actually get into the actual talk of the film. I feel like I tripped and fell on my face.
Yeah, like we said a few times, I think Frank's mentioned it. You know, we're 5 movies deep in this thing. I don't think they really knew or expected to keep making these movies. So, like I said, each one feels like an episode of like a sitcom where whatever happened left it on a cliffhanger. You know, from start to finish, there was a problem. It got fixed by the end. It was all fine by next week. Whatever. You know, everybody say goodnight. Little house on the prairie, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter because next week we'll have a different issue and then we'll fix it by the end and have another cliffhanger for next week. I got to give points to creativity at least. I'm like, well, you made a movie. You have a plot that's like, here, we're going to do this thing today. Like, okay, well, we definitely did that thing. So I don't know. I think while I'm not as scathing as some of these critics are, I think both of us, I think we're a little closer to the critics than we were, you know, when we started this, where we're like, yeah, these are pretty awesome. These are fun. These are, you know, popcorn zombie flicks. And then now we're just like, so we're Doing what? Because I think this movie is kind of akin to Frank's thing of you're always one line of dialogue away from just explaining something, because I don't have a picture of it, but like they're literally the first, the opening credits, and you see Milla Jovovich, of course, and you see Michelle Rodriguez, and you're like, what? Wait, hold on. Didn't she die like 4 movies ago? I think you looked at me and I was like, you've seen all the BS in this series. I mean, it's not really that hard to believe that. Yeah, screw it. She's going to come back. Why not? Because XYZ, and we explained it, and we're not going to talk about it. Same thing with Jill, obviously, who again is still pointing a gun at me. I think that's why this movie confused me, because we of course have to spend the first 5 minutes, Alice explaining the entire fucking 4 movies to us. Every movie, it's every previous movie from start to finish, like her explaining it to us. I'm like, dude, we've seen this series. You don't really have to explain it to us. At this point, I didn't understand the point, but I think this is why this movie, it felt like a first watch, because I don't remember a damn thing about it except for Jill being back, because she just kind of, because I didn't stay for the after credits in the last movie. So you jump right into, hey, by the way, my friend Jill's back. I'm like, whoa, stop. What? No, you don't just pump the brakes. You don't just say that. Like, you just knew that happened. Like, we were all supposed to know that she just came back. Because she just says, as a matter of fact, like, oh yeah, Jill's back. I'm like, huh? When? Why? What? And what's the damn, well, my only thing was, well, I remember that from the last movie. Like, what's the thing doing on our chest? How'd that happen? Don't know. I don't think the movie really knows either, because there's a couple of things in this that we're just not going to explain, but we'll just go with it. So yeah, that's my not so quick review. That was it. Goodbye. No, my not so quick thoughts on Retribution. A little surprised that it's more lower rated than, I don't know. To be fair, at this point, it doesn't surprise me, but I'm kind of shocked at what was it, 3 or 2 or 3 or something they said was like one of the lowest.
I think it was 2.
Yeah, because I think you said you were surprised that 3 was better than 2 or something.
Yeah, I did say that.
Yeah, because I think it's apparently rated higher. I'm like, I think 2 is absolutely amazing. I still think 3 is good, but I didn't mind 4. And then, like I said, I don't remember a thing about 5. I think I watched this in theaters, and then I never saw the final one. So that'll be it'll be a new experience for everybody. I don't know why I scrolled down to the trivia. I was like, there's something up here, isn't there? Yes, the cast. I go throwing the tab across the screen. I wish you guys could see all the crap of my mouse darting across this screen trying to scramble to get this.
Are we skipping director?
Do we
do we have to talk about the director again?
He's literally not even in the rundown. It's cast, plot. It's the lowest rated film, which I think is actually wrong. But and then trivia. I mentioned it. I mean, yeah, we got our boy Paul back in the driver's seat, writing and directing. So, I mean, we could ask, what do you think about what he did with this film, considering this is kind of his baby, this series, now that he's done this is what, 3rd time, I think it said?
I think this is the 3rd time now.
I know, it's always the fun. Now we start watching this movie, we're waiting for it. We're like, "Ooh, is his name there? Is he doing the thing?" 3rd to be written and directed by Anderson. Yeah, so he did the first film in Afterlife. Okay. And then this one. I mean, I guess, what's your thought on what he did with this one, now that he's, 5 movies deep, and he was at least in more control of 3 of them? So, what do you think?
Out of the 3 that he did, that I don't know if he did the last one or not, so I can't say anything to that. Out of the 3 that he did, find out. Right. Out of the 3 that he did, this one is my least favorite. Damn. I think he hit his stride in the middle ground. Honestly, I feel like the first movie was confusing, and I could tell that this movie was also confusing. I don't know. I felt I felt like the direction in this movie was confusing in the same way the first movie was sort of confusing. I don't know. That could just be me finding the direction of the movie confusing just because I found it confusing. But I don't know. I just saw it being windy, the plot itself being windy and all over the place, sort of similarly to how I found the first movie's plot being kind of windy and all over the place. Whereas, was he the second or the third movie he was the director of? Was it the third?
Afterlife.
It was Afterlife. Okay. Whereas Afterlife, I felt had more direct direction. I don't know. I felt like that one had a more sense of purpose to it.
Oh no, I lied.
Oh no. Or was it?
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Afterlife was 4.
Oh, Afterlife was 4. Okay.
Oh, I'm thinking of Extinction. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
These titles.
Anyways, I feel like the one I'm trying to remember.
1, 4, and 5.
1, 4, and 5. Okay.
I did look it up. He did write and direct the final one too.
Oh, he did. Okay, so that'll be interesting to see what he did with the final one.
Yes.
But I feel like so he did 1, 4, and 5. Okay. I feel like the last movie had a more clear direction than this movie did. And I feel like the first movie had less clear direction, but still more clear direction than this one did. If I was to compare all 3 of them, just direction-wise. Those are kind of what my thoughts on his directing of the movie itself would be.
I mean, he did at least produce the other ones, 2 and 3. So I don't know. I do appreciate continuity, and especially with creative minds behind a project. Like sometimes we do juggle it, sometimes it can get out of whack. I mean, we all wax poetical about the original Star Wars movies. I'm like, well, yeah, but George Lucas directed 4, Irvin Kershner did 5, and I think George did 6. I don't know. You can do it and still make it work. Now, it's not like George wasn't involved, obviously, in Star Wars. Star Wars is his baby. That's kind of what I'm saying with this. This is kind of his child that he's ushering along. Now, to be fair, George at least did have he had a whole story written out that he wanted to tell. He knew what he was doing. Boom, 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 all these movies. Like I said, with this, I don't think that was really the case. It was just kind of like, this is a fun idea. Let's try this. Something that I think maybe that I noticed about this one is maybe the reason why you mentioned the first movie. You know what's funny? This is basically the same plot as the first movie. Let's escape the underground facility.
Right.
Yeah, the underground facility we're trying to escape for the whole movie, and we're on a time limit of a few hours. You know, it is kind of the same plot, to be fair. Kind of a recycled plot from the first movie. So not like it's something that he's unfamiliar with. Now it's just all the added, you know, with all these characters that you either haven't seen since, you know, a few movies, or ones that have died because you haven't seen them since the first movie. Looking at you, Michelle Rodriguez. I'm not mad that you're back in the movie. I don't care. I'm almost like, I don't even care. You have reached the status of cool that I'm like, I don't care how she's in the movie, and I'm not going to ask how you did it. We'll get to that later, because she actually plays 2 characters, and that'll make sense in a second, and it is hilarious. But maybe that's why, is because this is kind of the same plot, which, yeah, plot's after. Sorry, we got to talk about the cast first. I was like, that would have been a perfect, just right to the next shot. Alas, no. But I'll put that out there. Why not? For the no one watching the chat. That's okay. We got cast. Cast. That's an important part of the movie. God, I wish I had more outlets on this thing than I could actually use a mouse. But I got a decent picture of the gang for the cast. So a couple new characters, couple returning characters, especially in this shot. We have Luther back, of course, right in the middle because star power never dies. And speaking of star power, I mean, she's got her back turned, but you have one of two versions of Michelle Rodriguez on the right side of the screen. We have a kind of adoptive surrogate daughter clone thing for Alice in Becky over there. And of course, that strapping gentleman on the back there on the right is Leon Kennedy, because of course we got to have the video game characters in this. We did get Ada Wong. Again, I'm ashamed of myself that I was like, I don't remember if they ever show up. I'm sure they do. I think. I don't know. I pushed this movie so far out of my head, I didn't even remember that. And then, of course, you've got I wish I could remember his name because he was my favorite character, which is really was really embarrassing. I don't remember his name. I've seen him in Barry, Kevin Durant playing Barry. I'm pretty sure he was in that remake of 310 to Yuma. He got his throat stabbed by Russell Crowe because he was annoying the shit out of him. But fair enough. So anyway, cast. What do you think about this cast? Who stands out to you?
I mean, of course, it's awesome to see Michelle Rodriguez again. I mean, it's good to see Luther again. As for seeing, I know it's important for the guy to see Leon Kennedy in this movie. It's important for the game.
And he had the jacket.
Yeah. I know that he's an important character to the game, but I kind of feel like he didn't do very much.
No.
I
will say no. No, he didn't.
He didn't do much. So to me, he didn't stand out that much because he was just kind of there. As for characters who stood out, I would say Michelle Rodriguez stood out.
I love the shot of her on the
yeah, that was cool. I felt like she stood out quite a bit. In this movie got that again. Fast and the
Furious money.
Yeah.
At this point.
At that point, yeah. I feel like as for standing out, she stood out the most for me. And then I wish we could have seen a little bit more of Luther's character since he was back again. Yeah. I wish that there was some more of his character arc, before it's spoilers, of course. This is a spoiler review before he died.
That's some bullshit.
That was stupid. It would have been nice to see a little bit more from him. But as for who stood out, I think the two of them for me are the most standout characters. And the little girl, I think, kind of stood out as well. Becky. She was a pretty interesting addition to this cast as well.
I mean, because of course an easy plot device in a movie is like, let's have a child that we care about. I mean, even if it is a clone child who is not actually Alice's daughter, but whatever, we're gonna play it like that, and that's the story we're gonna go with. I'll keep it on her for a second. Yeah, I was like, I'm always impressed by child actors who can do something. I mean, even of this like kind of weight, like she's supposed to make us believe that like this woman who is for some reason like dressed like I got a better picture of the two of them. Like your mom did not leave that way, and she came back looking like that. It's like, read the room a little bit. I know she's a clone. She doesn't really have that many memories implanted in her head that she is just aware. She just knows that, oh, this looks like my mom. So, we'll just go with that. But playing her deaf adopted daughter was actually kind of awesome. Where's goddamn these pictures are so small. Obviously, in the lexicon of the few Mexicans that are cooler than Frank, obviously Michelle Rodriguez. Like I said, I don't care how, but she's back. She's also a clone. We've had plenty of the cloning stuff in this, like we know with Alice. there's always clones of Alice somewhere, and especially in this world. To give a little bit of plot, the underground facility that Umbrella has different simulations of New York City, Tokyo, and Moscow, and then just one that's just generic suburbia. I don't. There's a Raccoon City helicopter that's crashed, but they use this place to simulate the T virus, and each little section has just a set of what they say, 50, just 50 people that are just copies of one another. So there's 4 different versions of Michelle Rodriguez in each one. There's a couple of Alice. There's obviously more of the little girl, Oliveira, who I did not get a picture of. He's back kind of because he's one of the clones. So yeah, that's why I was like, I'll give Michelle Rodriguez some credit because she plays basically herself in this. And then there's a good version of her. I had to put good rain and bad rain because obviously the badass version knows how to shoot guns, and then the good version of her has no idea how a gun works. So this is a pretty funny scene of her trying to teach her how to just point and click. It's like a camera, it's super easy, barely an inconvenience, one would say. I'm not going to scroll down to it because I have so many pictures, so you're going to deal with me saying it. But yeah, Michelle Rodriguez, I think she's the standout. I mean, I think it's cool that we, I put this as hey, it's the reunion tour. He's dead. Obviously, we saw him get lasered to death in the first movie. I mean, he's back. I got a really badass picture of Jill. There was yeah, Jill's back. Don't know how, but hey, she's been mind controlled by Umbrella, and she's basically just an operative sent to kill Alice. We kind of have a weird version of the Red Queen. I don't know if it's supposed to be just a computer-generated creepy child. Probably. I know I have a picture. There we go. Of course, another video game character edition that we have is Ada Wong, which, again, I completely forgot about. So, yeah. It's cool seeing two. I got a picture of both of them, actually, somewhere. Yeah, look at that. I got both of them. Both the video game characters are in this in this movie. And I will say I love this scene because I love that he puts his hand on her thigh and she just looks at him and just takes it off and it's no. Which is kind of accurate to the game. They don't really have a relationship, so to speak. They kind of have a I don't want to say Catwoman and Batman because they actually have relationships. It's kind of they kind of use each other. It's they're kind of on opposite sides of the of the game here. Leon being a pretty straightforward government agent, and she's obviously a spy, so it's kind of a doomed relationship, as it were. So funny references there, but yeah. I know I got a picture and the movie gets dark again, damn it, and I wish I could find. Oh yeah, because I got that badass picture of Barry going out like a fucking boss. So he was my favorite. I always look at a character and I'm if I was in this kind of situation, I'm yeah, screw it. This is what I'm doing. I got right before. If you're gonna die, you might as well light up that fucking last smoke and just face down the enemies. Yeah, I'm going out like a badass. I don't care. Get your shots in. No, he was fun. He's just kind of the snarky one. Yeah, we got Tex in the chat. He's lurking around the bushes like Michael Myers. The Red Queen's the daughter of the scientist. I know. He's Dr. Ashford's daughter. I'm just I don't know if it was actually an actress playing the role because I'm sure the original girl is now probably almost in her teens at this point. It wouldn't really work. They had the White Queen for a second just to awkwardly be yeah, here's another creepy child who's an AI hell bent on killing the human race. And this one might have just been a computer generated thing, and they might have just had another little creepy British girl voice her. I don't know. I know who the character is. I'm just saying, for casting purposes, it may have just been what it is. Okay, plot. I don't think I have a picture of the facility because I just couldn't care to. I couldn't be care to ask. Ask to care. God, dyslexic as shit. But kind of similar plot to the first movie. Like I said, we have a weird. I Well, we kind of start in the Arcadia. We kind of pick up where we left off, which is always good. With Umbrella coming down on Alice and everybody on the Arcadia, to her waking up looking definitely like not like Taylor Swift. It bugs the shit. I don't know. Milla Jovovich with bangs just looks like Taylor Swift to me. I don't fucking know why. It's weird. Anyway, she wakes up in what you don't know. It's a not a dream. It's the simulation that's being run in this facility. Of course, this is a clone of Alice and a clone of this child, who have just enough memories to they know their mother and daughter, and they just run experiments of the T virus on people. So we get to see that. We get to see the Magini's back again, which are horrifying. I don't want to. I don't think I'd ever want to deal with these infected ever. Yeah, and then she runs into Ada Wong. We get a plot twist. The dude from the Matrix, or the Wesker. I'm never letting that go. Wesker's back, and of course, he's kind of on Alice's side, which is really weird. He's not. He's always out for himself, right? There's got to be some angle as to why he's trying to actually help Alice escape this time, along with the help of Ada Wong, because it's obviously building up for something, and that's what. Where's the picture? I put it at the top because I was smart and put it out of order. And that's what the cast of these three guys are about. They're the other half of the team that are meant to extract Alice from the underground facility and get her out, which is the entire plot of the movie, basically. I just kind of summed up the rest of it. We're just fighting through, hey, big famous location. Here's New York City, which has every damn advertisement in the fucking world because get your ad breaks in there somehow. Then Tokyo, Moscow, generic suburbia, which I guess was supposed to be Raccoon City. I don't know why they didn't just call it that. And yep, we escape. We get into a tussle with the evil Michelle Rodriguez and Jill. Luther dies very unceremoniously, which was kind of stupid given his character and the fact that all these movies you bring back somebody cool and then you just kill them. And I don't get it. I'm not even going to give you a pass for the reference to another video game movie that he did to show him dying. So kind of sucks. Yeah, once they take off, they get back to the White House. They find Wesker. Wesker just backpedals on what he did in the previous movie, gives Alice her powers back because he's like, "Hey, I need you. Here's the needle drop. I need you because the Red Queen is actually hellbent on killing everybody in the human race, which includes me. So." And he's kind of like, I like me, so I don't want to die. So, Alice, I need your help. I need your powers back. So, I need you out there, go get him, champ. That's, I see you trying to look at the back of your head. I know. I know. And then that's you even ask, like, so where's here's a line drop and where's the slow motion pan away to what are we doing next week? Hilariously, we have been doing this show every week. So it does kind of feel like a sitcom. So, I guess next week is the season finale. So, yeah, what do you think about the plot? Does this plot work for you? Is there anything you would change? Probably most definitely. What do you think about the plot?
This plot does not work for me. Simply put. In the very beginning of this movie, immediately, starting from the beginning, I'm immediately suspicious of Wesker.
Well, you should be.
As one should be.
Mm-hmm.
I get the whole point of, well, what else are you supposed to do? Because you're trapped in this facility, and who else are you gonna? Well, there's no other way out besides trusting him. Anyways, I get that you've forced this narrative. It's a stupid narrative to force, in my opinion. I don't like how he's completely just abandoned Umbrella because he wants to.
Well, Umbrella kind of
I guess Umbrella abandoned
bitch right
him.
here
I
is why.
suppose that's what happened here, is that he was abandoned by Umbrella. But I'm unclear why, because he has his own essentially powers, or whatever we're calling them.
He does.
Like Alice did. So I don't understand why Umbrella's not using him like they did Alice. I'm not understanding the motivation. I'm not understanding that. I'm not understanding, as a viewer, I'm not understanding the motivation behind the whole Wesker being the one initiating this whole thing. Well, apparently Tex says there's a specific reason why he needs the original Alice. I'm sure. I mean, I kind of understand the whole the whole they need each other thing. That's been a plot in movies for forever. The two opposite ends of the spectrum needing each other for whatever reason. I mean, that's been a plot point in movies since the beginning of time. I get that they're the opposite ends of I get it from that standpoint, but from a logical standpoint, I just it doesn't make sense. But I don't know. That from the very beginning of the movie, I'm just sitting there like, this doesn't make sense. But moving on from the beginning of the movie, because if I don't move on, I'll just keep saying this doesn't make sense over and over again. Moving on from the beginning of the movie, other things that I found interesting, having all of these testing facilities of different areas. I did find that interesting. The different areas like New York City and Moscow and Tokyo, where they could show what it would be like if there were attacks, the bio attacks on different cities. I mean, that idea was pretty cool as a plot point. But there were also things in there that didn't make sense, but I'm not going to get into those because we'll be here. Me trying to out-logic a movie is not what you came here for. But I mean, I think Wesker sending a team in to extract Alice with Ada Wong was interesting. I mean, it kind of makes sense and it kind of doesn't. I mean, I get that he needs Alice and he trusts Ada to get her. So I get the plot from that point. It kind of works in that aspect, I guess. I got a little confused with the simulation things, especially with the suburban simulation. That the clones there were interesting.
There it is.
I was going to say,
I got a picture of like the
clones. Yeah,
where they find it.
I mean, the imprinting thing. I mean, the necessity to imprint all of these memories on them is an interesting aspect. I did like that aspect of it, having to imprint like a certain amount of memories so that they could have a psychological response to a bio attack. That plot point was really interesting to me. I liked that aspect of it. Trying to go back through. I'm like looking at the plot as I'm talking so I don't get lost. Because I feel like this movie was easy to get lost in where you were at in it. Right. I lost, like, I'm losing the plot as I'm trying to talk about the plot. So they go in, they encounter Becky. Oh yeah, they're fighting. They're fighting in the fake Moscow.
I got a picture of the brain monster.
Yeah, the brain monster. That was pretty cool. I mean,
look how big that motherfucker is.
That was crazy.
I think it's insanely huge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and when they, let's see, man, I've lost the plot now of where I was going.
Stuff and the things.
Yeah. That's right. When they find, let's see. Oh yeah, when the Red Queen, right? When the Red Queen initiated the bio attacks when they were in the different areas. That was an interesting plot point as well, I thought. I thought that was interesting that there were only certain bio attacks within each area, like the
executioners.
Yes, like the executioners, and then the that brain monster, and then the zombies with machine guns. Were those machine guns?
And the chainsaws.
Yes. That was a kind of a neat plot point to see all the different types of zombies. That was kind of cool.
Zombies with fucking AKs.
Yeah, those parts of the plot worked for me, just to see all of the different types, which I'm sure satisfied the people who played the games. I'm sure
they do that.
And then encountering the clones of Michelle Rodriguez, and getting, trying to get to that elevator. Let's see what happens after that.
Jill and Alice fight.
That's right. Jill and Alice fight.
The Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh yes, when they're up on top.
Yeah.
When they're up top in the snow.
The Michelle Rodriguez takes on Luther.
Yes.
And Leon.
And she gets that bug thing.
Parasite.
Yeah, the parasite. That was also an interesting plot point, which
it's a game thing. Yeah.
Which is an interesting thing to introduce so late in the movie. Mm-hmm. That could have been interesting if it was introduced a little bit earlier, I think. Had that been introduced like when they were standing in suburbia. I think that could have been had more impact had that been introduced there rather than near the end of the movie. But overall, I think this plot had some flaws to it, but there were still some cool points and some cool stuff happened. But I just think it could have been more cohesive overall. Those are kind of what my thoughts are on the plot of this movie. I had more thoughts than I usually do on this one.
Yeah, that's good because there is a lot going on in this movie that it kind of, now that I'm kind of looking back at it now, I'm like, there is a plot, but like I said, it is just kind of a repurposed plot from the first movie, but this is also now like, hey, here's all the video game stuff. I'm like, well, yeah, we want those things. I'm like, yeah, I want to see Leon and Ada Wong kicking ass. Like, yes, the parasite is now in there along with the Magini infected. Of course, Wesker. I mean, duh, you get to have, your big bad guy. I know I've got in a picture. I got President Wesker. I love that I got that shot. Fucking hilarious. That's kind of how he sees himself anyway. So, but basically as God. So that's Wesker for you. I feel the pacing didn't feel as off. It just kind of felt like, it just kind of kept going. Like we do have the overarching goal of, okay, we need to get out of here in a few hours because this, we're going to miss our window. And of course we have a contingency of like, just blow the whole place up, if this doesn't work, and we'll just kind of bury it all under the ice and the frozen water, which is what they do anyway. But of course, like, it's never that easy, of course. And yeah, it's weird that they do not necessarily, like you said, not just late in the movie, but late in this damn series for the parasite. I'm just like, yeah, that's a cooler thing that could have been. I mean, to be fair, I love that I got the shot of Michelle Rodriguez, who's basically like immortal now because she's just like, you can't kill me, like I injected myself with this this BS parasite that they put a couple bullets into her and then she just stands there, turns around, the wounds heal like she's freaking Wolverine, and the bullets just like spit out of the ends of her fingers, and she's just like, what? Now what are you gonna do? I love that the next picture is, she does do this to Alice. She's like, you can't kill me. And she's just like, yeah, but I don't have to. And just shoots out the ice under her feet. And then she, gets kind of, face hugged by some zombies that were still coming up from the facility, and they just drag her down. It's like, yeah, that's one way to solve that issue. Whether it did anything or not. I don't know if there's the same type of infected. I don't know if it really matters. Just kind of Captain America her. They put her on ice, so whatever. Until the world needs Michelle Rodriguez again, she'll come back for whatever reason. Because it's like it's never the end for Umbrella. There's always another one. I'm sure the next movie is going to open up and explain the other 5 fucking movies to us. We're going to spend the first half an hour doing that. Probably, you know what I mean? Probably. I can believe that there's always these other facilities for Umbrella because remember, it is a global corporation. They're everywhere. They have all these crazy testing sites and those other crap that they do. It's not of the realm of possibility, but goddamn. I don't know. It did feel, like I said, more like here's the video game Easter eggs for the people that, that get it. But I don't know. Kind of the only thing I took away. Where's it? I got a nice picture of the. Yeah, there we go. Nice picture of the two of them. It's like all you kind of came away with was you have this daughter to protect now who's not. It is weird how quickly Alice was just like, "Yep, yeah, it's mine now. I'm taking this with me." I get it's a child, and she was kind of the only one who survived. I guess really any of it, in the facility. So I don't know. Weird implications of it's a clone child, but. Sure. I mean, can she have memories? Are we just going to forget about her in the next movie? Who knows? Because something I mentioned before we started was, hey, remember how we went to that ship and saved Kmart? Well, I'm glad we forgot about that already. We just fucked off and never went back to that plot point. I'm glad we went to rescue her and just, nope. I mean, she did at least ask first right off the bat, hey, what happened to Chris and Claire? Don't matter. There is a thing in the trivia about why Claire was not there, which is a fair point. As for, I mean, they probably just said, no, we can't use Chris either. But Leon Kennedy, hey, he's like the guy. He's like the popular, he's the popular game character. So
I don't know. And he barely did anything.
He was there. I mean, I guess I know I'm going to sound like Zach Krager when I'm like, play the game. I mean, he is the main character. The main character is Alice in this case. I mean, like I got pictures. Yeah, I got a picture of the two of them. Like, yeah, the story's about Alice. Yeah, he's there and he's there to just kind of, be himself, just to be there, I guess. But I don't know. You don't want to overrun your main star there, I guess. That's kind of what the point is. I don't know. But yeah, I swear I had one of Ada doing her thing, like where she was like, she's always posing, like holding the gun up and shit somewhere. But alas, I don't know where it's at. Yeah, it could have been a little better. It had interesting plot points, but as a whole, not so much. I see why I kind of just don't remember this movie at all. But we'll give it a chance in the lexicon of these movies. I guess that's the next plot point. Yeah, one of the lower rated Resident Evil films. Is it deserved? Is the question that I'm passing to you. I can tell by that smile. Do you think it's deserved all the hate?
Kinda. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I mean,
I've seen worse.
would I watch it again? Probably not. I mean, I it it I mean, it was entertaining. I don't regret watching it, but would I go watch it again? Probably not. I mean, it kind of didn't make sense to me, you know, uh, within the grand scheme of things. A lot about this movie just didn't make sense, in my opinion.
I agree. I I want to see the final chapter and kind of see it as a whole. I guess we can call it a complete story. Let's see where this ends, how this goes into it. What does this movie do for the rest of this series, and like kind of look at it as a whole, which I'm sure we'll do next week. We'll look at this as kind of like we can kind of look at it as one full story and kind of see if it was, was it worth going through all this in the first place. Okay. Apparently, I mean, hey, we didn't see a body. I guess Tex is right. I mean, she could still just be hanging out in the Arcadia. Who knows? A lot of dead bodies on that ship, though, man. There's a lot of Ospreys came in there and just laid waste to everybody. So I don't know. We didn't see a body though. Right. What did we? I don't know. What did we just watch? Was it this? Where it's like, hey, yeah, they died. Did you see him die? Well, no. I'm like, what? I'm like, well, I've seen Walking Dead enough to know. I'm like, I didn't see a body. Damn it, that means you didn't die. I don't care. If you know, you know. Even though we saw definitely Glenn get ripped apart, I was like, no, he didn't. I'm more like, okay, sorry to spoil something here. You know he dies. You know how he dies. But I'm just saying they did try to bait and switch us a little bit and head fake us with a death. We're like, I was more like, yeah, but how are you going to explain to me how that didn't kill him or that he didn't just die? Because I mean, they do that in the show. They do kind of subvert your expectation with people that you know from the comics. Either they live, they die, or they die in a different manner at a different time. So I was kind of thinking, like, there's no way someone as important as Glenn, somebody whose death is as important as it is in the story, that they would just cheap out like that. So I was kind of just more like, I want to see next week how you explain, you know what I mean? Going back to the sitcom thing, but different zombie show, which we're working through. Don't worry. I don't know. I turned around because I remember this was back there. I'm like, I would rather watch this again because if anyone knows, I I have been thinking about this movie. I fucking love this movie so much. It's a semi-low budget, just like does not take itself serious parody of like every zombie thing you've ever seen. I literally saw this. This is like one of 3 movies I just saw in a store, and I was like, I already know like I'm going to love this. I'm just gonna buy it based on the fact of that. This looks so ridiculous. It's one of my favorite movies. Yeah, see, that's what I said when we saw Michelle Rodriguez's name come up. Do you ever really stay dead in this world? No, you do not. Where there are zombies that can with full function manage to work mounted machine guns, AKs, chainsaws. You can bring somebody back in some capacity. I think Rain is actually literally dead, but they're like, yeah, but we got clones in this world, so you get more Michelle Rodriguez. I want to know if like her not paycheck, but I wonder if like getting her back was a little bit more expensive this time around because again, now like I said, she was deep in that Fast and the Furious money at that point. So I think maybe the first movie had like just come out when the first movie was out, about 2001. That was 2002. So I think she was just kind of getting started with those. To be fair, yeah, she's definitely worth it. So, yeah, next is trivia. Was it deserved? I would say, yeah, this was not the best work. I I want to reserve a little judgment. I want to see what final chapter does. And hey, maybe we could do that at the end. Kind of rank all 6 and see where we place them in the entire series. Yeah, like Frank says, usually probably a good idea to stop on a trilogy. I like trilogies. It's kind of a nice round. You know, you have a beginning, middle, and end. That's how most stories work. So sometimes you can make it work, though. If you make sets of 3 like George Lucas did, like, hey, I'll make these movies. I'll make these 3 movies. And that was it.
And they never made another one ever.
That's it. If we, Frank, I'm sure you're still listening. If there's a night where we just really don't know what to do, I would love to just come on here and just bullshit about Star Wars for a few hours. Just kind of get it out, because and I will say I'm kind of always of the opinion, like, I'm not gonna say something about it if I didn't at least see it. And in this case, see it in its entirety. I saw all 3. I've seen spinoffs. I've seen spinoffs, the TV shows, the other movies. Not all of them, so I'm not gonna talk about ones I don't know about. Like, I can't really talk about Ahsoka. I actually didn't see Rebels, weirdly enough. I saw most of the Clone Wars. I saw Solo. I didn't see Andor. Mando. I saw Boba Fett. I'm just kind of back and forth, but I did see the core movies 7, 8, 9. But having seen it, and then it is also just that I know the behind the scenes things, going on Disney and Lucasfilm and their whatever their reasons are for making what they did, decisions wise, rather. It just hurts me as somebody who has been just about almost my entire life a Star Wars fan, and as big as a Star Wars fan as I am. I got still courtesy of text. I still got, you can't see it. Well, kind of. There's a Darth Vader helmet right here. Popcorn bucket. It makes sound. He breathes, But to be fair, that's in the original trilogy, the Skywalker trilogy. So yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be a fun night. Now that I've gone to a different different IP, totally. Let me get this tab off here. We can go to the trivia. It is trivia night, folks. Okay. Oh, Becky, we're gonna start out strong. Clone child. First is the character of Becky was originally not going to be hearing impaired, but after an outstanding audition, the role was given to Ariana. Oh God, I hate when I can't say people's names. Ariana. It was spelled weird. Sorry, Ariana Engineer. She was scouted by Paul W.S. Anderson and Milla Jovovich. I mean, as you would expect. And they, as they were impressed by her performance in the movie Orphan from 2009. Yeah, she was the little sister, wasn't she? An Orphan, yeah. Again, impressive child actor, I will say. Something about we got Ada Wong next. I'll do this badass one of them back to back doing some teamwork. Something that I always thought that Ada Wong's I thought Ada Wong's performance was weird, and now I understand why. Bing Lee's entire dialogue was actually dubbed by Sally Cahill, who voiced Ada Wong in the video games Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles, and Resident Evil 4. Although she can speak English, she does have a very thick accent, which requires her audio to have been dubbed as a result. Some televised versions of the film, though, do retain Lee's original voice. That sucks. I always kind of thought the way she was trying to talk and portray. I mean, she speaks English, obviously, so it's easy to tell. They tell what she's saying, but I guess if you're gonna have anyone voice her, I mean, it's the video game character, voice actor. That's, I don't know. At least it isn't obvious. They don't. They just do a good job with dubbing her voiceover. I don't really know what scene this was because we can't see the behind the scenes, but No, I'm not going to use that one yet because I want to be a gun nerd for a second. I want to say something about that, but I'll use this one. While filming a fight scene with Milla Jovovich, a mishap occurred, causing 16 actors to fall off of a scaffolding and sent them to the hospital. As a result, filming was, of course, shut down for a few days, and Jovovich visited the actors in the hospital out of respect. Yikes. Like we said, man, I just yeeted the stream across my screen. Sorry. As we said, man, movie sets are dangerous places. Man, one mishap and it can be bad news bears for everybody. See, and I actually agree with Tex. I'm like, as much as I love, we kind of focus on the originals a lot. Like again with Leon, Jill, Chris, Claire. I'm like, why haven't we really touched on the later ones, like Village and that's that's 7. Yes, 7, 8, and I think there's 9. Like, you just kind of branch off and do like the infected family that live in the fucking bayou. That was a very good game. It was fucking terrifying. That brought me back because I had bad tastes in my mouth from 5. I didn't even bother playing 6, and then when I saw 7 come out, I was like, okay, this is good. It's getting good reviews, right? Because if you do Lady Dimitrescu, people are gonna lose their fucking mind. Promise you. Put 9-foot tall mommy in the dress and the hat, and I'm telling you, people are gonna lose their fucking mind. Yes, that is what I said. Yes, that is a real thing. Don't ask me. Just look it up. Maybe safe search it. Don't. Maybe don't do that. Yeah, if you're not ready. I'm not even gonna try and find a picture for this. The voice-over narrator for the film's teaser trailer. That is not how a sentence is formed. This is not my fault this time. The voice-over narrator for the film's teaser trailer in the form of a fictional Umbrella ad. This is my world is. Oh, that was a weird way. Just tell me the damn narrator is Patrick Stewart. God damn it, it's Professor X. I thought I was starting to smell toast or something. Like, no, that sentence was just structured really horribly. Dear Lord. Okay, let's go back to Parasite. Important thing. The Las Plagas is a parasite in the video games first seen in Resident Evil 4. Features your boy Leon. That takes behavioral control of its host, and the infected humans do not become zombies and retain their normal appearance. However, its depiction in the film is different, since in the games it doesn't typically grant immunity to injuries. There's one exception, though, a type of enemy called the Renegator that has multiple parasites implanted into it. It can quickly heal and regenerate, but only looks vaguely human in the games. I think vaguely human is a very good description of the crap you see in Resident Evil. It kind of resembles humans. I mean, where's that damn? Yeah, when they do shit like this, I mean, it's humanoid. If you're like us and you play fantasy stuff like humanoid, because I'm like, yes, it stands like a human, but it definitely, one of these things is not like the other. So, shit. Okay. Let's go. I don't know who haven't I used yet. I'll use Jill again. Why not? Have a cool shot. Scheduling conflicts prevented Wentworth Miller and Spencer Locke from reprising their roles from the previous film. And here we go with Claire. Ali Larder was unavailable as she had actually, in real life, just gotten pregnant. But she, I guess, spoiler, did return for the final film. So we have that to look forward to. Claire is coming back. So, yeah, sometimes real world does happen. It's understandable. So speaking of zombies, man, hey, trust me. I was like, wait, just stop. I'm like, wait, you've met this character. You're fine. Tara from Walking Dead. I was like, hey, she filmed Walking Dead while she was like very obviously pregnant. So, as she said, I'm like, I'm going out, killing a zombie in the head, and run back to the trailer to feed the kid. I'm like, hey, it's hilarious. Do what you gotta do. It's you'll know. Trust me, it's so funny when they put her in a sweatshirt that's like 3 sizes too big for her, and then it's like they're trying to shoot her from like just like the bottom of her chest up, and I'm like, we know it's okay. And she's trying to like awkwardly shoot a gun, and it's like you can tell she's trying to hold over her stomach. It's so funny. Oh, we're going back to the Arcadia because you put it at the end of the notes, and then I got to go back to the beginning to find a picture of the ship. The ending of the 4th film was shot on the exterior of a real abandoned ship. When it came time for them to film the opening sequence of this film, however, the crew were surprised to discover the ship had actually been back in use and therefore was no longer available. As a result, the Arcadia battle was eventually filmed on a soundstage with a replica of the real ship. That's movie making, you deal with the cards you're given, man. Okay. You can read the chat. He's giving spoilers for fucking everybody. Even though I did look up the last film, and yes, I can see the the cast. I know who's back. It doesn't matter. Nobody dies. Who cares? Fucking Umbrella Corporation does what they do. All right. I've got a good picture of this one. Thankfully, if I can see it with all these dark pictures. There we go. In the scene that takes place in the Oval Office, the Great Seal of the United States on the ground is actually modified so that the eagle's head faces its left foot, which is holding 13 arrows symbolizing war, as opposed to its normal pose where his head faces to the right foot, holding an olive branch, which of course symbolizes peace. As if that's not obviously kind of a heavy-handed, like obvious, what's to come. So it's like, you get it. You know where you're at, and you know where it's where it's headed. I got a picture. Yeah, like the only good one I could find of these guys. The executioner scenes were actually not scripted to be in the film. However, it was added during filming, not even post. During filming, they're like, yeah, screw it. They're coming back. They're iconic. Why not? I mean, they're cool. Oh, yeah, something that we obviously caught, and I was trying to remember if in this time this was a thing, and I think it was. We got to talk about this. The close-ups of the bones cracking during the final fight are a direct reference to the X-ray feature in Mortal Kombat, which is also, of course, an in-joke because the movie's director, Paul W.S. Anderson, directed the first game adaptation, Mortal Kombat, from 1995. Yeah, like, it's obvious if you've seen Mortal Kombat, the game Mortal Kombat, the later ones, you gotta punch somebody and it does that cool. It is a cool feature. It just zooms in and you see like bones. You'll see organs, crap like cracking, exploding, boom, like when you hit somebody. They did it in this movie, and I'm like, okay, I get it. That is cool. However, that's how you showed us that Luther died. Like Michelle Rodriguez just punches him right in the chest, and it zooms in. You see his heart just stop, and I was like, "What? That was cool, but that was it? Really? Damn, this movie's harsh." Kind of did not like that. Was not a fan. I don't know. Maybe you're saying he can take on zombies, but you can't take a punch from Michelle Rodriguez. So that's. I'd rather fight zombies than her. So, I mean, to be fair. Yeah. No, that's the last one. So, final thoughts. I had to look over because I forgot the title already. Resident Evil Retribution. You can't see my eyes move, but they definitely just shifted over. I'm like, oh yeah, Retribution. Resident Evil Retribution. What is your final thoughts on this film?
Well, I was confused, but entertained still by it. I mean, it was okay for a one-time watch. I did enjoy the one-time watch of it. It was still entertaining. it still had its moments of entertainment. The zombies were cool as always. Still worth a one-time watch for sure. But I do have my gripes with the plot. There were things that felt like they could have been done differently and better, in my opinion. But overall, still kind of a fun zombie movie, just in general. And if you like the games, there are things from the games in here that you would like. Yeah, that's kind of my overview, final thoughts of Retribution.
Yeah, I have seen this movie twice in my entire life. Twice happened yesterday. I'm fairly, like I said, I watched this when it came out in theaters back in 2012. I think it was also, I have had a weird cutoff about 2011. You know, this is now like post high school me. So I'm like, I don't have as much time. Like now I'm an adult. I'm not really an adult. I know I'm still 15 years old. I act like one. I really do. But it's like things just kind of got away from me where I'm like, yeah, I'll maybe see them. I'd seen all the other ones, of course. I don't know. I was also just kind of burnt out by this point a little bit on it. It's like when I watched somebody cover Texas Ears. We already mentioned this. What I got the same way with the Saw franchise. I'm like, well, it is entertaining. I went back and rewatched it all again and then watched the ones I had not seen yet. Watching it in that way, I was like, okay, I get where it's going. It was entertaining. I can get over the, but they were there the whole time, but he was there the whole time. I'm like, okay, that gets old. Still with this, I'm like, I'm okay with watching it all back to back to try and get the full scope of what this series is. Because like you said, they are entertaining. I'm not really sure how much, we were going to squeeze out for this fifth movie. Yeah, we are still making 30 years later. We are still making games of these. To be fair, some of them are re-releases, but that's beside the point. But just from these movies, I'm like, yeah, we're kind of running the well dry. But there was some cool stuff in it. Like I said, it's always fun to see where he's going. Like I said, I'll give him points for creativity. You've kept this narrative going. And where we go from here, I don't know. Now we got Wesker and Alice, I guess, kind of teaming up. So he finally decides to turn to her. I think my thought when you were discussing that, why doesn't Wesker just do it? I'm like, well, I mean, it's not like you would send the president of the Umbrella Corporation out there. If he gets, messed up, well, he's gone now. Not that they would probably care, but you don't want to send him out. So they're kind of like, well, Alice is disposable. Screw her. She'll go out there. Like, won't you, buddy? You don't have a choice, So yeah, that's what we're doing the next one. I do want to use this meme because we have it here. So yeah, we're gonna see them, I guess, kind of team up and send her on her way.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
We will see if it does indeed. With final chapter. I don't think we have. No, we don't have a thumbnail because Frank's a lazy bastard. I'm kidding. I love the guy. I'm kidding. So yeah, we'll finish it up next week. So finishing this out. Oh, now everybody wants to talk in the chat. Goddamn. Finishing that out. We said final thoughts, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Where do people find you on the internet? I know how this show works. Goddamn.
You can find me on TikTok. I post haunt makeup tutorial / just videos of me doing haunt makeup. Sometimes I go live occasionally. You can find me where is it? It's over here.
Mm-hmm.
Over here. It's the same as the name here on TikTok. My latest video is just of a rabbit, but that's okay too. It's off season, so it's just videos of random stuff right now. But come spooky season, it'll be spooky content. So if you want to give me a follow over there, feel free. Otherwise, I'll be here for the next installment of Resident Evil. The last installment for now, since there's another one coming, I guess.
There's been like another movie.
another movie. Then. Yeah.
And now a remake, whatever the fuck now.
Yeah, whatever's coming. But yeah, that's where you can find me on the internet. You can also find me on Twitter/X, which I've been affectionately calling Twix. It's Twix now. I'm not calling it anything else. It's just Twix. I post there occasionally as well. It's the same name, Tin Septum. So you can follow me there if you're interested.
And my joke is that since I've been calling it Twix, I'm like, is it the right Twix or the left Twix? I'm like, wait, it's run by Elon Musk. Guess the right Twix. That's such a bad joke. Tex, no, the fuck, I am not redoing those movies because I am not gonna. Because speaking of hot makeup, I'm not putting myself through that again. I think that's why that next year they had Darth Maul contacts along with the ones that are the white possessed ones that I always get. I think that's why, because that put a bad taste in my mouth. I don't want to use those red ones ever again. God, I suffered through that. If you don't know what he's talking about, somewhere on this channel, this godforsaken channel, we even try to act like we know how to run. Me and him sat down and we did all of the Saw movies. Like you and me marathoned all those movies to review them, and I sat down with Tex, who has buku's more knowledge than I do about it. And each one, this is when I still did that fun thing of I did a cosplay, like very quick, did a cosplay for like, shows. I'm just lazy. I don't do it anymore. Sorry. But I went as Billy the Puppet for the first 3 that we reviewed. And those contacts were driving me nuts. My eye, I actually couldn't see out of my eye for like an hour or two after. I was worried. I was like, oh God, I think I did something wrong. I think they were just a lemon. It was just those. I love that website. I love their contacts. They've always been good. Good for hot season. So may have just been a one-off, but dear God, if you want to watch me suffer, I suffered for the art. So okay, well, see, at least he's willing to redo it. I mean, I think what I need to say is it's your turn to dress up. You give me a Billy the Puppet. You just get the black and red hood. You can be John Kramer. You can cosplay this time. I think I'm good. And hey, we may get Frank to join us on the final chapter. I mean, yeah, solid ending. So I'll take your word for it. It'll be fun to round this out with you on board. Now that I've rambled fucking too long, I will be here. I'm here Tuesday and Thursday. And as we've said about 300 times, next Thursday will be the final chapter. Came out in 2016 of Resident Evil. So we'll see what the end brings us. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know what we're doing Tuesday. I forgot to mention this last time, I don't remember what I did yesterday. What did we do Tuesday? Mortal Kombat. We did Mortal Kombat 2. Highly recommend. It was a lot better than the first movie. It was a fun watch. I forgot to mention something that you and I have actually been playing. We found a free game called Arcadegeddon. And it's basically, the story's kind of like Ready Player One. You have an uncle who runs an arcade. He took all these arcade games and he basically just plugged them in all together to make one, giant world that you can. It's kind of like the Matrix, so you can come in and out of this, video game world. And of course, there's the big nameless evil corporation, which is basically like IOI, who wants to take over everything, and he's kind of the last stand, the last bastion of arcade gaming that's left in the world. So that's what you're fighting against. I mean, it's just you go in there and fight waves of enemies, and it gets progressively harder and harder and harder, as arcade games tend to do. You get better weapons along the way. You can upgrade your weapons. You can get cosmetics. You can customize your guns. Even you can customize your loadouts. It's just kind of a fun, just over the top, just ridiculous shooter slash. I mean, these are swords. You can slash through enemies. You have power ups. It's really cool. It deserves a little bit more spotlight because for being out for like 5 years and it actually doesn't have a big player base at all, which is kind of sad. I think it's a cool little gem of gaming. So check out Arcade Geddon. It's free. I think it's free on just about everything, and it's cross-platform. Kind of. We spent about a good fucking 3 days trying to figure out how it actually works. It does work, but you have to, go through all the back rooms and crap. Speaking of back rooms, watch the trailer for the back rooms. Speaking of another video game movie coming out, a horror video game being made into a horror movie. That looks fantastic. I'm like, that is gold for a movie, especially a horror movie. It looks great already. If you play the game for yourself, if you haven't, or if not, watch someone play the game. God, there's so much that they can do with this, and I really hope they do. It's already got the creepy liminal space vibe. Oh my God. Backrooms. I'm excited for that. I hope we review that because I'm very excited for it. Yeah. I'd recommend this movie, and I would also recommend this movie. Like I said, if you ever find The Walking Deceased somewhere, it's a funny goddamn movie, I'm telling you. You'll enjoy it. So I'm using my mouse that doesn't work. What am I doing? The muscle I'm sitting there going, why? Oh, whoops. So I need music. Good. So Tuesday for God knows what. So we'll see you doing God knows what then. So goodbye. God, it's such a slow roll. Get back up there to the thumbnail. There we go. Oh, you can tell I'm just tired. I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad.
That'd be a retro review. Go back and watch Holes. That movie's over 20 years old. We could review that one.
That's crazy.
2003. That movie is over. It's old enough to drink.
Oh my goodness.
That just hurts your soul a little bit, doesn't it?
It does.
But I mean, I've said it. Sigourney Weaver can get it at any point in her life, but my God, in Holes. Woo! I'll try to contain myself. I hope we do that movie. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.